Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to the latest spin. I'm Mike Spinner, Student Athlete World USA, coming at you on the Thursday before Christmas. And I know people get into that saying every year, like it's hard to believe it's Christmas, or it's almost Christmas, or it's hard to believe that the year is almost over. To which my reaction is usually, well, it isn't because we're here, right? It's today's December 19th. Of course, it's almost Christmas. It's almost New Year's. It's the holiday season. I don't know why, but for me, it just doesn't feel that way at all, and not even slightly. So to my family, no one's getting any gifts this year. I'm just kidding, but it's really I don't know why. It just this year has been a unique one, a fast one, a fun one. But it doesn't feel like the holiday season, if you ask me. Part of the reason why in Connecticut we've gotten like a quarter of an inch of snow, so it's just hard to be festive about the holiday season when it's warm out. So it is what it is. But this is the last episode of the latest spin before the Christmas holiday. And for those of you who watch me regularly, and I've had a couple interviews this week with families who do, next week's edition of the latest spin will be on location. It will not be here. I'm heading for warmer climates. Anyone on the west coast of Florida, I will be in Fort Myers beginning Monday for a week. So you want to buy me lunch? Here I am. Just reach out. 203 518 8408 is the cell. But yeah, if you're in the Fort Myers area, want to learn more about the company in person, hit me up, send me a text, give me a call. We'll hang out. We'll do it. And I'll get you on our social media as well. So if you are in the Fort Myers area, want to become Student Athlete World USA famous, just hit me up and we will get together. Now, on to some business. And this week, I had an event, Student Athlete World related. I had an occurrence that every once in a while, things happen that make me think deeper about our company and what we do. And, manifestly, we provide sports tours to great athletes and families and international tours. And that's what we do. But something that has occurred to me over the years that I've been doing this now my third year with Student Athlete World is I believe our experience goes deeper than that. It's bigger than that. And I say this because I would tell anyone that our tours have changed my life. Even though I've traveled internationally fairly extensively in a sports setting before I joined this company, I just feel that the experience of getting to know our families, getting to accompany them around the world, providing young athletes with this opportunity of a lifetime has changed me. I've learned a lot. As many of you know, I worked in college athletics for 23 years before taking this job. Half the time I spent as a college coach. And I got into college athletics because working with kids and helping mold and change their lives is my passion, the same way it would be for a teacher. And I just happen to do it in a different way. And joining Student Athlete World, 2.5 years ago almost, has allowed me to continue that passion in a very different and amazing way. So, long story short, 2 days ago, I had an interview with somebody who is not from the United States, who's never even been in the United States before. And that does happen. Last year, we had several Canadian citizens travel with us, mainly to United World Games to play basketball. This coming summer, Spain, Portugal, we're going to have a men's basketball player from Melbourne, Australia, which is still my favorite city I've ever visited outside the United States. And so it was really cool when everything worked out with him this summer. So 2 days ago, so today's Thursday, this was Tuesday morning, I met with a young woman named Naziha Alagha. She's from Qatar. And I did not know what to expect coming into this interview. Quite frankly, I know as much about Qatar as most of you would know. Read about it. If something is on the news about Qatar or wherever I learned in school, I cannot call myself an expert in any way on Qatar simply because I'm not. And so when I saw this interview kind of on my calendar and I read through her application, and we had some emails back and forth, and she's super active on social media. So I was kind of expecting a good interview. I was excited. I was intrigued more than anything. And, when you get somebody from another country who interviews, um, my first thought is always, are they going to show? Because it's a different time zone. And I remember my friend from Australia who's traveling with us this summer. His interview was like 5 a.m. for him local time. He woke up for that. So I just was wondering, is Naziha going to be there? What is she going to be like? I've never met someone from Qatar before. And the interview turned into pure awesomeness. Um, hopefully Naziha will be traveling with us this summer. I do believe she will. Don't quite know what tour yet. We talked about the different tours, but if you are a women's basketball player and you're on the tour with Naziha, you're going to want to meet her. Just delightful person, amazing family, just the kind of interview. I mean, I ended up going closer to an hour where typical an interview would be 40 to 45 minutes, just because of the great conversation. But Naziha came to us in large part because she wants to broaden her own horizons. Her goal is to play college basketball in the United States, wants to learn more about our culture and about our basketball, and also wants to see the world. She has not traveled extensively herself. And I loved this interview. And it just got me thinking even deeper about this job, because in that singular instance, that 45 minutes to an hour that I had the opportunity to meet with a family from Qatar for the first time in my life, I became more passionate about this job and about what we do and the mission of why we do it. And here's the really cool part. So it just so happened that very day, I think as I was meeting with Naziha and her father, Tim posted my favorite all-time video involving student athlete world. It was a video of dancing taking place at the Oktoberfest during this past summer's United World Games. And I remember Tim posting the video to just kind of prove the big picture as to what our tours really mean. And I remember loving that video because it really defined our mission. And if you didn't see that video, go on our social media, like Instagram at Student Athlete W, and check it out. And I remember it was literally right around the same time I did this interview with Naziha from Qatar that Tim reposted this video with dancing going out United World Games. And it's kind of cool that it happened because Tim's in North Carolina, I'm in Connecticut. We've met once in person, to be honest. We talk almost every day, mainly because, it's generally because I mess something up. So, just how it is. Tim and I talk quite frequently, but considering that there's not a lot of in-person interaction between Tim and I think there's tremendous synergy. And Tim, if you disagree, just delete the rest of this video and we're good. But I think philosophically, Tim and I view kind of what we do the same way. So there I was thinking deeper about the big picture of Student Athlete World USA, while Tim, almost concurrently, was posting a video about the big picture for Student Athlete World USA. So I just found that whole scene to be really cool. And kind of one of my favorite highlights of 2024 from Student Athlete World USA was meeting with this family. Because again, when you as prospective travelers, when you look at our tours, you look at it as a chance to compete in your sport internationally, which is exactly what we do. But the thing that I've been trying to push through this video, through the interviews, through interaction with our families, is there's just so much more to it. You're eating new food, you're seeing new sights and sounds, you're meeting new people. And in this case, if you're a women's basketball player, there's a chance you're going to have a teammate who's from Qatar, who's just the most awesome kid you're going to come across from this incredible family. And I just think that's going to make that tour even better. So it's not too often I spotlight a singular family or interview during this show, simply because even this year, especially, I would say 90 to 95% of these interviews have been amazing. Like if you're a family I've met with and you're watching this, there's a really good chance you've made my day. And I really, truly, to the bottom of my heart, mean that. But there was something really different about this interview this week because, Naziha being from a country and a region I just am not familiar with made me feel more passionately about my job in less than an hour. And I think she's going to make you feel more passionately about your tour, assuming that she comes with us and depending on which tour it is. So, Naziha, I know you watch a lot of our social media. If you're watching this, and I hope you are, or you will be, for all I know, you're fast asleep right now. I don't even know what time it is in Qatar. But assuming you're watching this, I hope you know how much you've made my job in one interview so much more fun and made me appreciate what we do that much more. So that is kind of the student athlete world update for the week. Like I said, next week I'll be in Florida. Now, will I be on vacation? The answer is yes and no. Yes, I will not be in Connecticut. I'll be in warmer weather. But if you are desiring an interview or a conversation or have questions, I'm still working. All right. My calendar's open for plenty of interview times. I know all of you are off from school. Schedule your interviews. The work doesn't stop here. Christmas Day, maybe, Christmas Eve. Will there be interviews at night? Last year, I did one at 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I'm not sure I have my calendar open that late again this year. But for the other days, we're working. And I mean that because that's how committed we are to you. So don't think of it as student athlete world is closed for business next week. Think of it as when I do this video, the background might be a little bit different. Now, what in the world? Today's What in the World is brought to you by Paramount Plus. All right. If you are still wondering what to get the person you love the most as a special gift for the holidays, well, no matter what holiday it is you celebrate, get them a subscription to the Paramount Plus app. I don't know why I thought about it more deeply this week, but I don't think there is an app that I have grown more fond of, or a streaming service that I have grown more fond of than Paramount Plus, really this year, more than any other time, mainly because of the original programming that Taylor Sheridan, who in my mind is a genius, okay, total genius, like beyond Martin Scorsese, beyond any other great producer of content that you could think of, there is Taylor Sheridan. And this week, my favorite vacation hobby, especially in Florida when it's hot out and I'm not the biggest hot weather fan in the world, I like to binge watch shows. I started to think about the shows I may want to binge watch again. And it occurred to me that they're pretty much all Taylor Sheridan vehicles. So for those of you who watch Yellowstone, that's Taylor Sheridan. All right, Yellowstone season finale this week. Not going to give you any spoilers. Hopefully not the series finale. We don't know yet. It said season finale on the show. Yellowstone to me is one of the top 5 series in history. And my favorite's Game of Thrones. I've said that before. And there's series like Rescue Me, which is going back a ways. But Yellowstone to me is up there. It is awesome. If you've never watched the Yellowstone series and you're looking to binge something next week when you're off from work or school, binge Yellowstone. Amazing. But also Taylor Sheridan through Paramount Plus. Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. What an amazing show. Just finished their 2nd season. And Alvin has been a bad episode yet. There is Mayor of Kingstown, which pound for pound could be Taylor Sheridan's best work. Mayor of Kingstown with Jeremy Renner, who's a fantastic actor. Just an incredible show. There's Special Ops Lioness, military kind of show, CIA, FBI kind of show. They just wrapped up their 2nd season. Again, every episode felt like a cliffhanger. And then this season's newest show from Taylor Sheridan called Landman, Billy Bob Thornton at his best. And I'll give you one little bit of a spoiler, and I have to kind of go a roundabout way to do it. There's a 1990s movie about high school football. And let's just say one of the more popular scenes from this show involved whipped cream being used in a way that is atypical of what you and I would use whipped cream for, or at least I know I would use it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, the person involved with this use of whipped cream is one of the stars of the show. And the reason why I say that is because this person is every bit as enjoyable to have on the screen as this person was during this 1990s high school football movie, if not better. Okay. And I'm just going to leave it at that, but totally worth checking out the show. And the show itself is awesome too. And Billy Bob Thornton is amazing. Just a great show. So we have Paramount Plus as our newest sponsor of What in the World. Welcome aboard, Paramount Plus. I love your work. Bring more. I want more, especially Taylor Sheridan. I want more. So today's What in the World takes place in New Jersey, and it's going to center around a college because, once again, we're talking about college sports. And the school today is Montclair State University. You may have never heard of Montclair State University, and that is okay. Montclair State this week made a really difficult announcement, and it hit my world very personally. They will be dropping their men's and women's lacrosse programs from varsity status to club status at the conclusion of this year. Now, as many of you know, I run a club lacrosse program in New Jersey. We have sent dozens of athletes to play at Montclair State over the years. Montclair State men's and women's lacrosse is typically fiercely competitive with big rosters, and they've been very successful for decades now. And the reason given by Montclair State University is they're going to innovate. This is an innovation. Dropping a sport from varsity to club to them is an innovation and a new way of seeing athletics. In my opinion, it is just a way to save some money. And I think it is highly questionable. However, I've also been thinking about their decision very deeply. And my conclusion about the Montclair State lacrosse situation is it is not the last domino in this realm to fall. All right. There are less kids going to college. That's a fact. It's called the 2026 enrollment cliff, and there's volumes of information about that out there. College athletic budgets that are outside of the top levels of Division I are being shrunk. Sports possibly on the cutting board. But if you drop a team from varsity to club, you can still say you have that sport, still benefit from the enrollment of it, just not have to pay for it because club sports generally pay for themselves. And I've seen this firsthand a lot because, as many of you know, my world exists very deeply in the hockey realm because I have a 12-year-old son who plays hockey. College hockey is not really growing. It's either stagnant or shrinking, depending on how you look at it. But club hockey in college is exploding to the point where you have colleges, and University of North Carolina, home of Bill Belichick being one of them, that is literally looking to build a on-campus arena for hockey, for club hockey, not for varsity. There are national club hockey leagues with All-Americans and national championships and leagues and all that stuff, just like you would think of for varsity, but the colleges don't fund them or don't fund them that much. In my opinion, this decision being made by Montclair State this week is going to become the new norm. I believe you're going to see other sports at colleges everywhere being dropped from varsity to club so that schools can benefit from the enrollment and still say they sponsor the sport without having to pay for it. And I don't like it. Because while we're doing this, Bill Belichick is going to University of North Carolina to be their football coach. The rumors are they're getting a $40 million NIL budget. I'm sure millions more in upgrades and salaries and stuff like that. And it's just a further illustration that this college sports system is shattered. Not shattering, but shattered. Let's remember why sports exist at the high school level, college level, youth level, at our level, for international tours. It exists for one reason only, not to earn scholarships, not to turn pro, but to offer opportunities that are integral to the lives of the athletes involved. That's why I got into college athletics and now work for Student Athlete World. And in my opinion, this Montclair State example, and you can read about it yourself, is just a growing example as to how we're getting away from our mission as those involved in sports. And I just don't like it because instead of dropping your program, how about doing a little bit of fundraising? Or, how about getting a little more creative with your budget? Let's get back to sport being in place for the reason why it should be, to provide athletes with an educational experience that is fun, rewarding, competitive, challenging, etc. Okay. And to Montclair State University, and again, I'm very familiar with the school. I've sent many kids to play there. It's just really disappointing what you did. And I hope you change your minds. But it also serves one last lesson for this show. To the young athletes out there, take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. Because look at the Montclair State lacrosse team. Some of them may not play again, because of this situation. And it's a reminder to grab and latch on to every opportunity you get in sports, especially this one. And that's my message for the week. Next week, we'll be back. Probably a little shorter during the holiday season, but we're going to have a nice little year-end wrap-up latest spin next week. That's all we got for this week. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah to everyone. Happy holidays to everyone. And as always, how do I get to have the best experience of my sports career? There's only one way. Go to studentathleteworld.com, complete your application, interview with me, and pack your bags. Have a wonderful holiday, my friends. See everyone from Florida next week.